As soon as he arrived in rural Eureka, Illinois, population 5,400, he was the center of attention.
It looks like everyone here in this small town is a photographer.
But former Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev wasn't the biggest name to visit these parts. That distinction belonged to the man who was both Gorbachev's adversary and his partner in reshaping geopolitics, former U.S. President Ronald Reagan.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Reagan was an alum of Eureka College, which invited Gorbachev to visit in 2009 to accept an honorary degree, nearly 2 decades after the collapse of the Soviet Union and roughly 5 years after the former U.S. president's death. I diligently followed Gorbachev through his campus visit, managing to stand on one side of a segment of the Berlin Wall gifted to the college in honor of Reagan, while Gorbachev stood across from me on the other side, reflecting on their historic relationship and the fall of that wall in Europe, both figuratively and literally, as my camera rolled.
Ronald Reagan said, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. And when I'm asked what was my impression when she said that, I said it didn't have much of an impact on us. We knew that in his initial career was an actor. But still, I must say that my opinion of Ronald Reagan remains very high.
Mikhail Gorbachev was a patriot of his country, and that was immediately obvious when you encountered him.
Jeffrey Trimble is a former Moscow bureau chief for U.S. News and World Report, who covered Gorbachev during the height of the Cold War. He later served as deputy director of U.S. International Broadcasting.
Mikhail Gorbachev was remarkably accessible to the journalistic community. This was the time of glasnost, of course. So it was relatively easy as a foreign correspondent to get direct access to Gorbachev.
Andrew Nagorsky also worked in Moscow as a correspondent for Newsweek magazine.
He did want to be respected. He did want to present the view of a younger generation.
That view continued into Gorbachev's later years, when he delighted in answering questions from college students 60 years his junior.
President Gorbachev, what do you most want to be remembered for?
I reply to this question always the same way. History is a fickle lady.
I think outside Russia, he will be remembered as a transformational figure.
When asked just how transformational, Gorbachev himself said in 2009 that that opinion might not be unanimous.
There is still a debate going on as to what was done right by Gorbachev and Reagan and what was not done right, but no one can deny one very important fact. The Cold War was ended. We started the process of eliminating nuclear weapons. And relations between our two nations at that time turned into an excellent relationship. There was even euphoria in the Soviet Union for cooperation with the United States.
A euphoria that has since turned to apprehension amid a continuing war in Ukraine that has put Russia and the United States on opposing sides of a conflict.
President Gorbachev, congratulations.
Kane, Farabaugh, VOA News, Eureka, Illinois.